Okay, here we are in project 8.5. I have downloaded my PDF instructions, and I've also opened the file. Here, I'm here on the opening the file. I want to enable the editing and then turn around and save it to my computer right away. So I'm going to go in and I'll browse, take her over to my document saving drive. And in this case, I am actually going to save over a file that I already created. And it's right here. Oh, wrong one, wrong chapter, wrong unit. I'm in unit 9. Here we go. Here we go. And save. Okay, so I got my starting point. And now I need to go through the instructions. First thing I want you to do is to take a good look at these formulas right here in this tier cell. So I'm going to just do a control tilde, and you can see that since, oh, for heaven's sakes, okay, control tilde. You can see that these are your formulas, and these are your constants, the listing commission and the selling price. So you're building a bunch of you're building data tables and scenarios and those types of things, and so you need to know that that it's the formulas that you need to work with, because the data is going to change reflecting on those formulas. So you look at this one is working with the two main components. And then if you look at the if statements are working with, depending on the data that's up here, and this is called a nested if. So I'm looking here, there's my condition. My second port is the true portion. Then the false portion goes into a second if statement. And there I've got a new condition. And I'll take that and I'll go over to that false portion. Then I've got another if statement. And I'm taking another condition, and I'm taking that into the false portion, and now I've got the true portion is the final if statement, which is the condition, and this, if the condition is met, then that happens. Okay, so that's what's going on with these nested if statements. Now I'm going to come back with my control tilde and get the sheet back where I want. So now I'm actually on step number 3, and it says to build a one variable data table. And so I'm selecting cell C20, it says. And in C20, I want to reference C15. So I'm equals, and we're going to click on C15. Then in D20, I want to reference C17. So we're right here. And now we're going to come in and build our table. And the first option is to take this data table here. And what we're doing is we'll be going into the what if analysis on the data tab. So data tab, what if analysis, data table. And the first option changes cell D8. So I'm going to click here, and I'm clicking on D8, and boom, there's my result. And I need to expand this. Oops, this column here. Okay, so the next step tells you, come here now, and let's take this and bring down those decimal places. So I've done that. And now I could make this one probably a little smaller. They didn't really mention it yet, but it looks a little better. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and copy this tier sheet. I can do that with a right click and go to move or copy, but I'm going to hold down my control key and get my little plus and drag and let go. And then I just have to change this to a 1. And I want to change this to a 1. And I also want to move this tier 1 to the first position, so I'm just going to move her over there. Okay, now we're doing another data table. So I'm grabbing the table, and in this case, I want to edit the, see, we did that, and now we're down here, edit the selling price in C12 to 100,000 or 1 million. So up here, I'm going in and I'm editing this now to 1 million. So we've got 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and boom. And look what it did to our table, kind of messed it up. So now we're going to recalculate the table using cell D7. So I click here, come back up to data, what if, data table, and this time we're using D7. So let's hit D7 right there, and boom. Okay. Now we're going to name some ranges. So let's see, let's save this. Save and name some ranges. So I'm over here in here on the price solver sheet, and I'm going to C12 first, and I'm going to name this range. So the easiest way to name that range is just to click on C12, come up into the name here and type it. So I'm going to call that selling price. And then the next thing is to in cell C14. So I'm C14, and that is, oops, I need to make sure I capitalize it because this is a darn computer correcting me. So underscore commission, enter, and let's see if I got those. Yeah, I got those, both those in there. And let's go to C17 for the last one, and we're doing it's a PHRE underscore enter. Okay, so I have the 3 named ranges. Now, my solver's already been added, but yours may not be. So what you'd have to do is come over to File, and you want to go into Options, Add-in, and when you look at the solver add-in, you go to Go, and you just make sure that you've got the analysis tool pack and the solver add-in added, because that's what they want you to do for this step. Okay, now we're going to build that solver problem in cell C17, and it has an objective for the first solution to set the objective value at 50,000 by changing cell C12. So let's go for that. We're at the solver, and it says C17. So let's get down here and click on C17 of the value of 50,000. And I'm changing cell C12. And I solve it. And then I save. Then I come back and I restore the original values, and we're good. All right, next solver solution. And notice how it picked up those named ranges when we did that. And so now I just need to take this one as 75 and solve, save, I hope I used a comma in that last one. I wasn't sure. I'll restore my values. And then the last one's a little confusing because it doesn't say, it just says restore the original values and run the third solver problem to find a selling price for a net commission of 100,000 and save these results as a scenario. So let's go here, and this time we want this to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. And so I guess what we're going to do is save it the same way we did the others. And it would be, I guess we'll find out when we correct it. And restore the original values. Now we're on step 7. And it says show the $50,000 value in the worksheet. So I would go what if scenario manager. There's my values, and I want to show that scenario in the worksheet. There we go. And now we're creating a scenario summary report for cells C12, C14, and C17. Okay, so here we are in, again, my what if analysis, and we want a summary report. And it's going to be for C12, C14, and C17. Now I held down my control key so I could separate those. I click OK. There's my report, and it's supposed to be called scenario summary, which it did come out. And now we're on step 8. We're going to generate descriptive statistics for recent sales by following these steps right here. And before I need to get started on that, I want to make sure that I've got everything saved for my scenarios and everything. So I'm going to click on save, and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're using that data analysis tab that we set up. And so we're in the sales forecast sheet and data analysis, and we're going to descriptive statistics. Click OK, and we get some options to choose from. Okay, so we want to according to the instructions, we're doing E4 through E26. So you want to make sure that you've got the label, and we're going to come all the way down and get the data, and that's my input range. Okay, so now this particular one wants us to use an output range. So we're going to click on output range, and that output range is G4. So we should be right. Output range, here we go. And we click on G4. And then the next item, it says select the summary statistics. So I'm going to come in summary statistics, and and include the largest and smallest. Largest, oops, what happened to it? Largest and smallest. And then an auto fit column width. It doesn't have that option there, so we'll just go boom. What did I say about the input range? It says the input range so I didn't do this is the labels in the first row. I didn't click there. Okay, let's see what that does it. There we go. And then it wants me to auto fit column width. So I can do that by clicking here and just come in and do a quick auto fit column width. Okay, it looks like we got to do some number formats, but I don't know what's going on with that one. Okay, we're down here in step 9 where it says create a forecast sheet for the date and price data of the sales forecast sheet using a column chart, and end the forecast 3 months from the last date in the table. Okay, so let's take a peek at how we're going to do that one. Okay, our first instruction says to use a column chart, so we're doing a column chart, and is 3 months from the last date in the table. So it's going to be 3 months out here. That's June 15th. So it's let's see, the forecast, end the forecast. So I'm in the wrong one. I'm in the start place. So it's end the forecast would be 3 months out. So it's August, September would be 3 months right from the last date. Okay. Position the chart object with its top left corner in E1. Okay, so the instructions says to position the chart object with its top left corner in E1. And so I'm going to just click on the corner of this chart. I got the values, I already want to do that. So it's E1. And it says size the chart to reach P20. So I'd be coming across to P down to 20. P20 is there, I believe. Yeah, that's 20 right here. Okay, we're good. All right, so now name this forecast. So I'm here and we call it forecast. Oops, C-A-S-T. And save it. Okay, it looks like it's time to upload. Okay, so I came up with a 94. Let's see what I did wrong. So the price solver does not have a scenario named 75,000. So there's something wrong with my scenario names. Let's see. Let's see what we've got. Scenario manager. There's the 75,000. Let me go back. Oh, I don't have mine open. That's why I had, that was the key. Let's see what's going on with my deal here. Okay, open her up. And come over to the price solver and look at my scenarios. It says 75. Is that a period? Let's look at that. There it is. Darn it. Well, I think you can handle that one. It should have been a comma right there. Okay, hit a period there. Da da da. That's why I got that. That's why I got marked down. So let's go ahead and you can fix that one. Just make sure you put a comma there. That's what it'll be 100%. So I'm going to go ahead and produce this one. Otherwise, it's going to take me forever to get it all done. So hope you're all having a good day and have a good one.